Hi there, everybody. Welcome in to we hit those double digits, episode 10 of Cyberpunk. As always, I'm Jonathan. Pronouns he, any. I'm your game master for this one. Fun fact for this week, or just fact, fun fact, unfun fact, trivia fact. I've got two, I think, pretty fun facts. Real quick, one. Just a couple days ago, I had mentioned it on some of the previous episode streams, but the inaugural Nerdtopia Fan Expo that Quelmar was a part of, myself sort of kind of taking the lead on that one. We were helping them organize and run their tabletop play area, and I would say it was a rousing success. Everybody had, at least as far as I know, everybody had a great time. I had a great time. Ran some games, and hopefully expanded our Quelmar community. And yes, Matthew can vouch for me on that one as one of the volunteers there. Yeah. And second fun thing is that after a multiple year hiatus, there is some plague or something about, I don't know what that was about, but upcoming. Don't want it to jinx it too bad, throw out too many details, but I am signed up for an audition for a musical here in the area. Finally putting that musical theater degree to use, maybe. All right. As you can see, also, as we start throwing the introduction wheel around, Lee, speaking of theater, tying that in there, Lee is not with us this week as she is in tech rehearsals for Something Rotten, as she mentioned on the previous stream. So she will be able to rejoin us next time. Next time we will have the full crew assembled. Heck, yes, gotta remember. Will do, Lyman. Thank you. So then, with out our usual Lee here to kick things off, we're going to pop over to Matthew.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Matthew. I am playing Opera, nay sehr stylish, a name that I still think is very funny and I don't get to say enough. He, him, and I am, as always, the ever so reliably schizophrenic technohemian tech of the team. And by way of a fun fact, I think I mentioned 2 weeks ago that Jonathan was making us work on Labor Day. 2 weeks from now, he'll be making us work on Memorial Day. And today is actually my partner's and my third anniversary. So Jonathan is 3 for 3 on making me work on holidays. So no gods, no masters, only GMs.
Damn. Oh, man. Only GMs and only friend computer. Oh, boy. Well, I didn't know about the anniversary, which I feel bad about. But yeah,
we made breakfast for dinner, and we celebrated over the weekend anyway, because Boo Monday.
Exactly. Boo Monday. Tell you what, Opera can have one extra luck point for today as an anniversary gift. You're welcome. I'm not getting you anything else. On that note, Angela.
Oh, hey, I am Angela, she, her. Currently playing Tara Trilby, aka Patch, also she, her. She is the med tech who has discovered that she really likes shotguns. Let's see. Fun fact. Not so much happened the past couple of weeks, although at one point last week I was awake for 26 and a half hours, which was my record for the year. Ooh. So that that was an interesting time. But I've kind of caught up on sleep since then. By kind of not so much, but I've been getting sleep every night, so that's what counts.
Oh boy. Well, I'm one to talk about sleep habits and sleep schedules, but whew, it can be fun to break records. That is, well, I did say that the facts don't necessarily have to be fun, so we'll say, yay, record breaking.
It was a fact.
Hopefully that record remains unbroken for ever, for your own sake. And then last but not least, we've got Ashley coming back from a hiatus last week.
Yeah, I'm glad to see all your beautiful faces again. But I'm Ashley, and I'm she, her pronouns, and I'm playing Pixie, and our nomad. And my fun fact is, so in my day job, my other life, I work at a university, and I learned this last week that when you graduate, when you get your undergraduate degree, you're supposed to move the tassel on your graduation cap right to left. But if you get a higher degree, you don't have to move your tassel. It always stays on the left.
Oh, well, how about that?
Didn't know that. So there you go.
Well, the jury's still out on whether I will be able to take advantage of that particular fun fact. We'll see what... no current plans for grad school, but that's not never sort of thing. But that is good to know. I distinctly have a memory of being in the chairs for the undergrad degree, at least, sitting with the cap and having tassel, and us all being like, wait, which... I know it's supposed to move. Which side do we start on? And this whole thing. We probably did it right. No one can say otherwise in any case. Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't really matter in the long run,
yeah, they gave you the piece of paper, and that's the important thing. Thankfully, they don't test you on that particular little bit there. And yeah, funnily enough, Lyman, I was about to make a similar joke about Nomad, maybe some mad. In any case, let's get into our recap here. I'm going to throw up a little bit of ambiance so we're not here in silence. Let's turn that up here. Perfect. So with last time on Cyberpunk, we are continuing our little side story / pre-heist adventure, given that we want to have all hands on deck for that. So last time on this side mission, there it is. There was a weird signal originating that friend computer, aka Valley Girl URL capitalized, was able to pick up on the Scream Sheet broadcast, the official Echo Center Scream Sheet broadcast, and it not only concerning in that, of course, there was something weird piggybacking on the signal that reaches everybody's agents in the entire Echo Center, but also had some clearance data tied to it. The friend computer kind of clearance data, which is unusual and a bit concerning. With a little bit of digging, you're able to find out that weird signal was originating from Silene family territory. The Silenes being a notable crime family. After some planning, you're able to slip into that territory under the cover of a midnight market when their most robust security would be following the family heads and not watching the streets. You snuck into... Yes, I know. Snuck is a word in my book anyway. Snuck into an old movie theater, and you found a recently abandoned broadcast center in one of the projection booths in one of these theaters here. You found a number of things in there. You found an old Clueless reel, just the movie. You found also next to that a strange reel, or at least in the form of it. There was still like the regular film reel, but there's also some tech attached to it that you didn't immediately recognize. You may need to take some time to kind of figure out what's going on there. And another like small box. This small box seemed to have been left behind. There was clearly a broadcast center recently abandoned within the past 24 hours. There was kind of Raspberry Pi style box left behind. There was some data that you were able to glean from it, but also there buried in the UI was your new friend,
Jackalbox.
a helper program that came along with it, and you were able to download some of the remaining data off that box. In addition to the Jackalbox program, the bit of data you're able to scrape before more of it was self-deleted was that this whole broadcast center, this box was a scrambler relay. It was able to bounce the signal from somewhere else to here, then to out to everybody's agents. What you weren't able to get super specific details on the origin signal, but you were able to get some coordinates in that it seemed to have originated from the Techno-Hemian community out there towards the beach. After getting all of this, you were able to slip back out of the Silene family territory barely unnoticed, just managing to avoid the notice of some scouts, some vanguards who were clearing the way as the main family members came back from the midnight market. You were able to slip out, get back to the Neon Garden. It is at the current very late Saturday / early Sunday, sort of in those wee hours of the morning. And that is where we find ourselves now. So, we are back at the Neon Garden. I think we had a lot of Neon Garden music last time. Let's go ahead and stay consistent in any case. So that's where we are now. We're back in the Neon Garden. We'll say that perhaps after a little bit of agent message exchange, Pixie, who you were busy with, at least in the story, you were busy with some preparations up at the garage, now that you are still in charge of it as Maverick is continuing to recover. And maybe even some pre-heist planning that we don't need to go into detail now, but maybe we will use that timeline, that information in the future. So you are all now regathered here. You've gotten a few things. I would say that the sort of give us a little guidance as we kick things off here. The two biggest things on your plate are this strange sort of real tech thing that you were able to get. You could take some time to sort of analyze that, figure out what's going on there. And also, of course, the origin signal for this fishy broadcast that seems to originate from the Techno-Hemian community. So with that, well, what do you do?
Well, Opera, I feel like you should take the lead here and at least maybe point us in the right direction of how we should analyze these things.
So would that be the kind of thing that I might be able to make an electronics roll here, Jonathan?
I think so. With let me pull up the as far as the electronics goes. Yeah, there we go. Yes, it depends on which one you are, which thing you would like to analyze. As far as what this real thing goes, I would say yes, that is electronics. As far as sort of, as far as like the origin data goes, the tracking data goes to the Techno-Hemian community on the beach, that I would feel like you would need to get closer to start parsing that data. But if you wanted to take the time for the other thing now, you could.
I think I'll start with the electronics role, because I think by way of approaching the Techno-Hemian community, I could always ask Comet what he has been up to.
Sure thing. Okay.
Can we help with the electronics role at all? Like if Opera's like showing us how to look at it, how to analyze it?
Yeah,
I mean, it's not really.
Keine
necessary,
Sorgen,
but-
Liebchen, I have this one.
Ooh.
fair enough. Yeah, it would be probably, given the very odd, unique nature of this tech, I would say it would probably be a little bit difficult to help. But it would seem that Opera doesn't need too much help here. Having
Pixie's just looking over Opera's shoulder, pretending she knows what they're doing.
yeah, exactly. So now that you have a little bit more time to dissect this, I would say that the time it takes to analyze this that is going to push us toward the actual Sunday. So Sunday, I would say that depending Pixie and Patch, and we'll say Bo during this. Bo is certainly going to catch some sleep. Patch and Pixie, you are welcome to do so as well, unless there is something else you'd like to get up to in the meantime. But with this 26, you take some time to work on this with your assortment of tools, Inspector Gadget style. What you're able to deduce is that it looks as if the bit of tech attached to it most closely resembles a braindance recorder. We talked a little bit about braindance last time. It's kind of like VR, except that it is not just audiovisual information. Like, it's the whole package, all the sensations.
They're feelies from Brave New World.
Yes, that book that Jonathan has definitely read.
You have. We went to high school together.
Yep. I don't think I was in that particular. Oh, I didn't have Miss Wilkerson, so I did. If that was the class in which you read it, then nope. In any case, yes, it's a little bit more robust here, but that seems to be the tech attached to it. As far as the reel goes, normally how it all shakes out is that braindances, you have a recorder that is sort of like implanted. It records the straight up experience that the person has, and then that is able to be saved to a data chip or an agent, and then it can be fairly easily played from there. Yeah, even someone, as far as playing brain dances, that can be hooked up to either a neural interface, which I believe that Pixie has, or even if you don't, it's, I would say, I, at least as a GM, am going to interpret it as, it's like not, it can be a bit more prone to glitches or not quite as powerful an experience, but even those who do not have a neural interface, you can use some like electrodes, put them on either side of your head, and still experience this brain dance. But the key thing is that someone still has to experience it in the first place in order to turn it into a brain dance. What this technology seems to be able, or what they seem to be trying to do with this, is create an artificial brain dance whole cloth. Like, based on the actual reel itself is, it does appear to be actually I will wreck on that. That's what you're able to deduce with this electronics check, is like someone is trying to make artificial brain dances.
Sorry, just to clarify, so do we have the device that records them, or do we have an example of a recording of like a, totally artificial brain dance?
That's the thing, is this the tech attached to this reel seems to be some sort of like modified recorder. The reel itself, the reel itself, you would suspect it's either reading or writing from that reel to create this. You're not entirely sure. You would have to jump in yourself in order to deduce that.
I was about to ask if there is anything recorded on it already. Can I just plug that into one of my gizmobs and find out what experience they're trying to create out of whole cloth?
Sure thing. Also, thank you, Lyman, for the bits. 800 bits. Thank you so much. I promise it's supposed to have the fun alert that pops up, but have never had much luck with that for whatever reason. It's probably, the technology somewhere. That's what's messing up. Cough. So in this particular case, I am actually going to ask for if you would please, let me make sure that I am naming it correctly.
Please not empathy. Please not empathy. Please not empathy.
No, no, it is not empathy, but it's the net running ability, that check. I want you to make the... if you remind me what it's called.
The Netrunner check is just a D10 plus your Netrunner ability.
I want one of those, please.
Oh, buddy.
All right, so we've got a 4.
It's more of a net jog.
Perfect. This also so you try and sort of like analyze, like jump in, try and figure out like what is on this reel with the sort of custom jury-rigged tech that the setup they've got going. You try and jump in here, and I'm going to pause this. When you jump in, pretty much immediately the environment that you find yourself in is pretty unstable. It looks for just, I think you specifically would recognize there are bits of this environment that resemble the Technohemian beach community. You feel and see that sand under your feet, but looking overhead, this sky, there are patches of the sky that are missing. Like you just see some kind of like broken JPEGs basically up there in the sky. And as far as the actual community itself goes, some of the buildings are different. Rather than the huts that you normally see, you do see like the main security force building, or at least sort of this weird sort of cobbled together tower of it. It seems a little bit taller than it normally should. Some like extra floors, doors, windows. You look overhead and you see that there is what looks like a Cronia floating up ahead, but it looks like a tiny little fly. Like it's just everything around here just seems wrong, out of place, wrong shape, wrong size. And you, as you look towards that tower, you do see the front door rather than the one that you're accustomed to. It looks like there's this just kind of wooden door, which pretty much nothing around here is made of wood, but just looks like a standard wooden door with even like a little knocker and brass knob there. And as soon as you try and, with a 4, as soon as you try and take a step here in this environment, you just sort of like clip through the ground and start falling, which is when you're able to just like jump back out.
Well, as much as I hate to say it, all of the clues are there. Technology that is not very reliable, a dreadful artistic vision, absolutely appalling execution, and perspectives that would, frankly, I would not count on a 4-year-old to be able to do that. My first suspicion is this must be the work of Comet.
Clearly.
I will have to have some stern words with him.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's... So yeah, overall the impression you get is like, yeah, this is like some sort of like some sort of sandbox simulation that you went into, that they were like playing with, trying to create something. You're not sure whether you have some incomplete data or like if this is just the state of the artificial brain dance as it is. But yeah, what you went into was real janky. Must be comment, right?
For his sakes, this better be a beta.
I will say that kind of noticing that you fell out of the simulation here pretty quickly. Did I use the... I think I did use it for this.
Hi, I'm Jacobot. It seems like that brain dance that you jumped into was a little bit unstable. If you want, I can help try and stabilize it. It will take a little bit of time.
Now, normally, if this were an offer coming from Friend Computer, I would be immediately suspicious. But I just can't say no to you, Jacobot. Go for it.
Yay! Okay.
Also, I can't help but notice you've got more of an unnerving sort of hellish chorus underpinning your normally chipper demeanor.
Oh, that at least is after listening back through the previous one, noticing that the voice mod was turned down a little bit lower. If we want, we can revert it, but yeah.
Oh no, it was kind of growing on me.
We'll turn it down just a hair.
Yay!
And what you say, like, hearing the bit about being immediately suspicious, you do hear a, ugh, whatever. I didn't even want to help anyway, so, like, it's all fine.
Now I feel bad for Friend Computer.
Okay, so with all of that in mind, what do you do? What do you do now? Is it time to head to the beach? Okay. Excellent. So the data that you're able to scrape before the majority of it deleted itself. You do have some of the remaining data there, if memory serves. So quarantined in the software sandbox that you got on your agents, but at least based on your hunch here, Opera, you can definitely just head straight to where Comet lives, if that is what you would like to do. Yes?
Yes, it's about time we had a word.
Okay. You head on down to the beach. You go to the Technohemian community. I think we've sort of touched on this before, but as far as actual visual representation, I don't think we've gone and talked too much about it. And it's a really, at least in my mind, thank you, Matthew, for coming up with the idea of this Technohemian community in the first place. As you all make your way down, yes, there's a community that's sort of sprawled across the beach and a little ways up to sort of like the rock outcropping, not like fully into the jungle, but there is a sort of smattering of, well, where people want to put down. It's a little bit more free-flowing, as one might imagine, free-flowing here than the actual Echo Center itself. Although, thankfully, it is not terribly far away. It is few minutes walk, or a little bit quicker if you jump into Bug, which I would say that at this point, Pixie, you've had time to fix. I don't think that there is a material cost involved with fixing the car with your rollability. If there is, maybe we can revisit that in a moment. But at the very least, I'm not too hung up on it at this point. In either case, you make your way to the... Actually, I will ask. It's a decent walk. It is walkable, but do you jump in bug to get there a little bit quicker?
Well, of course.
Okay. If Pixie
There's no
I
other
would-
way to
I would-
travel. I mean,
Exactly. I would never turn down my dear Pixie.
fantastic. Okay.
have we been there before? Do we know Comet?
Well, you tell me. Would Pixie or Patch have had much dealings with the Technohemian community in the past?
I seriously doubt Patch would have.
That makes sense.
I think Pixie maybe would.
Yeah.
Just given she kind of floats everywhere.
Yeah. As a smuggler, I mean legitimate parts acquirer and dealer, makes sense that maybe some of the special requests from the Technohemian community, either you or your family would have fulfilled some of those requests in the past, Pixie. So I think you, if not best friends with everybody, you would have like had some contact there, visited from time to time. Patch, yeah, it does make sense that probably not so much for you as someone who is not huge on tech and cyber enhancements, as well as yeah. Okay, so you head there. I would like to describe a little bit more the kind of look of the community there, but Opera, I'll give you the chance if there's any sort of specifics about either the arrangement or the look, the aesthetic of this community as a whole you would like to offer here to build, then by all means.
I don't want to take that prerogative from you, Jonathan, because I love hearing you work. But I would say maybe Opera's home is a little more eclectic, shall we say politely, than many of his colleagues in the Technohemian community. But other than that, I'd love to hear your vision.
Okay. Well, then, given that dynamic of yours being more eclectic than the others, I think we briefly sort of skimmed on it, but if you'll at least maybe remind us, what does your abode look like then?
Sure. So Opera, like many of the people who make their living out of scrap trawling and things like that, because he was raised a proud scrap trawler. He started out with sort of a tin shack that was made of salvaged scrap metal that over the many years as he has expanded his expertise in the mechanical arts and been forced to make additional accommodations for his dear ancient mother, it has expanded out in strange and improbable ways. He is definitely not an architect, but he knows when he needs more space, and there's sort of an anarchic, it grows out maybe overlong in one place and then too tall in another, a little like spindly where you would expect it might need to be more forcefully shored up. But in general, everything is comfort, who cares, function over form every time.
Okay. Got it. So function over form. Got it. So yeah, as you say, like moving out in a little bit more unusual, eclectic ways of like, with little regard to perhaps aesthetic in this particular thing, since you are your own canvas, so the building is whatever. So there's a little bit of some Frank Lloyd Wright geometry here, but most of it is like, there's like your workshop sort of like juts out so that it has just more air circulation. So you see, this like sort of cobbled haphazard, again, like just strange lines here. Well, I get a little bit of even though, yes, he was in fact an architect, I get a little bit of Frank Lloyd Wright energy from this. So
the only comfortable place is where his beloved Mutti lives at the top of the tower.
Absolutely, yeah. There is sort of this, I at least am now imagining, almost like a little mushroom cap, something that is a little bit more roomy there towards the top, that in which your dear sweet mother is able to be nice and comfortable. The rest of the community as a whole, there are some that are not directly focused on the architecture itself. So like there are some like odd buildings and lines out there, but for the most part, yeah, as a community largely focused on aesthetics, the artistic expression, you even get here out on the beach, sort of the edge of the jungle, you do get some weaving combination of both salvage technology as well as the natural. You do see that some roofs and whatnot have like palm leaves and other like leaves, foliage from the jungle that has since been silvered, or you see some like circuitry on some of the big banana leaf style things. Everything is at least sound. There aren't huts leaking water in here. After all, you can't have rain coming in on any sort of technology. By and large, you do see that as opposed to, as you say, Opera, you're a bit more eclectic. Most of the buildings, you can kind of tell what expression of art that they are focused on just based looking on the outside of the building. Some are architecture based. You also see some like fabric hangings in certain places, some like sculptures, statues. It's pretty broad here. You walk. Oh yeah. Yes. Well, good luck there, Lyman, in your D&D game. Hybrid Hellhound. Interesting. In any case. So for you head towards, where it is, Opera. You know where Comet's kind of compound is. Comet's is one of the larger buildings, compounds that is on the beach. They do very well for themselves. There is, in addition to the main building itself, I would say there are some folks that have this, but certainly not everybody. It's on somewhat less common. Has this big courtyard where there's this sort of somewhat high wall that goes around this whole area in front of the main building itself, and inside there's no gate kind of in front of this courtyard here. After all, the Technohemian community is by and large an open and welcoming one, and a sort of artist colony. But inside here, you do see that it might be perhaps a little bit more jarring for the rest of you. Opera, you've seen this before, this, in your opinion, this kitsch nonsense. But for Pixie and Patch, it's a little bit more striking. You see all these statues. This is a little bit more tech heavy than some of the sort of fusion art that you see elsewhere. You see these metal plates all sort of arranged. Think Roman marble statues style, with perhaps a little bit more, perhaps like a little bit of like Picasso melting in there. But most of these statues up on plinths are made of this metal, striking these poses. Opera, you know that, again, not identical, but Comet is a little bit more into like body modification and humanoid statue building as their preferred art style. So let me actually change up. I believe this is the one that I want. Music here. So yes, you enter this compound. There's the crunch of sand under your feet. Even though it is by now pretty early in the morning, I would say, Opera, since you were up sort of analyzing the thing over the night, I have to remind myself whether like exhaustion is the thing, but I would say that you are, even though you are a little less, I would say, human than some of the other folks, you still need to sleep from time to time. So you're running a little bit ragged. I'm going to unless there is... Unless you want to bolster yourself with some sort of stimulant or something, I'm going to go ahead and give you a... yeah, I'll go ahead and do it. I'm going to give you like a -1 to just kind of across the board here, until you get some
That's
sleep
fair.
or use some sort of stimulant, since you worked through the night. But yeah, feet crunching on the sand, sun just barely peeking over the top of this wall around this compound here, and it's still early enough that you don't see too many people about the community. There are a few people kind of wave as you walk by. But even though there is no gate or door here, you still get just that weird sort of sense of not being welcome here. As if these statues are all sort of watching you proceed through this courtyard here. And as you go forward, you then reach the front door of this building. It is about two stories as far as you can tell. There is, this architecture, clearly not Comet's thing, so it is pretty more standard, rounded, squared, like nothing too striking about the building itself. Seems like most of the attention was paid to the garden of statues out here. What do you do?
Charming. I just go and bang on the door.
You bang on the door. You hear it.
But first, I deploy the sledgehammer attachment in my gizmo hand.
Okay.
Nice.
To clarify, are you trying to just very heavily knock or actually damage this door?
Just heavily knock.
Okay.
Rudely. We have like a will they won't they thing going.
Perfect. You very heavily and loudly knock. I would say there is like a knocker here that is kind of like shaped like a hand that you just fully ignore and bang on this door. It not only echoes, you can tell, inside, but even outside, and you hear a couple of just little starts of alarm from nearby people waking up, like, what the hell is that? I don't know where that is. That what the hell? Yeah, you just see like it's still pretty early here, so you disturb a couple people. You do not hear any sort of response on the other side of the door.
Are you sure they're home?
Didn't we? I mean, we heard voices from inside, so I guess I would call.
Oh, the voice. Sorry, the voices are from like nearby, not inside. Of like
sorry.
other people in the community being disturbed by your very extremely loud knocking.
Then I am going to attempt a pick lock check to try and open his door.
Fantastic. Go ahead
Unless
and give it a roll.
happens to be electronically locked.
I would say, like, looking at it, you do notice an obvious electronic lock.
Aha, you fool! I am much better at that. I'm going to use my security tech skill.
Okay.
I mean, I'm pretty sure he knew you were better at that, but...
Okay. With a 20...
My God, Comet. What are you trying to keep protected inside? Your teddy bear?
With a 27, yeah, I mean, there is you are at least able to realize like a little bit more heavy security here than you were necessarily expecting, but with the 27, you're still able to get through, brush it aside, no problem, and disable the electric lock. When you go to check the, open the door, there is a just sort of like click as well. It seems as if it is also physically locked. This strikes you as odd because the techno-human community in general is pretty open and trusting, as I mentioned. To have redundant locks like this, it's a little bit of a yellow flag, if not a red one. It is out of the ordinary.
I'll call out to let him know I have bypassed his pathetic security systems.
Is there anything that's like ringing any alarm bells for Pixie, like trap wise? Like, are we walking into something here?
You can make a... I believe it's just perception. I don't think there's like a specific like trap finding skill. So I believe it's just perception. Uh, 13. No, you don't see any like obvious traps or anything here. Opera, you say you call out as you bypass this electronic security. I'll roll the 13 because that was pretty easy DV. You don't see any traps, but you do hear a couple of like people from again nearby saying, "Wait, was that Opera? Did he just say he was breaking into his Comet's house?"
And honestly, as Opera is saying this, like between that and the sledgehammer, Patch is already on edge, so she's just going to take a few steps back from Opera.
Okay.
At hearing some of his technohemian neighbors putting up a very noticeable to-do, Opera will call out, "Yes, Opera is breaking into Comet's home. Why don't you develop a sense of property rights before you go with the propriety thing?"
You hear a beat and then one sort of faint, "Yeah, that's fair." But yeah, if you would like to get into the physical lock as well, yes, you can in fact do the lock pick. Or pick lock. Uh, 13 takes a little bit longer. There is some little bit of jerry-rigging here, but I'd say kind of towards the end you're able to get it part way, but then with your, again, forklift strength, you're able to just sort of like bang the last couple pins into place. And though perhaps not the most subtle, I would say with a 13 there are slight signs of forced entry, but you are able to get it open.
Ugh, whatever, I'll buy him a new one.
Okay. So you open the door and go in? Okay. Fantastic. So you open the door, you start to go in. I need... Yay. Perfect. I would like everybody to please... I think is it all of you, or I think Patch may not, as far as... as far as the reflex 8 avoidance thing.
Yeah, no.
Pixie and Opera, I would like both of you to make some reflex checks to try and avoid something that is coming in here. The DV is going to be a little bit higher since you did not notice it. All right, that is
No.
a
If this is the evasion, then it's going to be the evasion skill, which Pixie, I think you're going to have better than just a
Oh.
raw reflex roll.
oh yes. Pardon me. I
Yes.
believe
Yeah,
that is correct.
because evasion is also a skill, so it's both the dexterity and the points that you've put into it. And I think both Pixie and I have put 6 points in it.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Yes,
thank
that
you.
is correct.
That's more like it.
So I'll keep. Woo. Well, I was going to say
Thank
I'm
you,
going to keep.
Opera.
Sorry, I am going to keep the original roll, but let's see if the bonus is a little bit different
Plus
here.
6.
So adding 6 on the original one, so that is a 20 and a 17 then for those original rolls. Sorry to take away that crit from you, but
That's all right. Keeps it interesting.
okay.
How is it that I have 6 levels in evasion?
DV.
It's because Patch is a badass. That's why.
Okay, fantastic. Oh, that's right. I did say I was going to bump the DV. That's right. Sorry. Jonathan is playing a little bit of Calvin Ball here for traps. Normally, all these rolls are like weapons, and so there's a person making an attack roll. Since there's not a person here, spoiler alert, doing a little bit, so that would be... Okay. Luckily for one of you, then, 20 is going to do it. 17 is going to come up a little bit short.
And I have a quick question, Jonathan.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I have 6 levels in evasion for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. And I don't know if that applies.
Yeah, I would say you can roll an evasion as well. I think that's probably a better way to go about this. Is just everybody roll evasion. So you roll evasion as well, please. I don't think it will be as relevant for you, but hey, 24, fantastic. As you mentioned, I think Pat, you are a little bit on edge. Opera, you've just got super reflexes as the 6 million credit man here, and but Pixie, just move a little bit too slow here. As you open the door and go in, there's a little tink, and falling down from overhead is a small grenade. Patch and Opera, you're able to throw yourselves out of the way, but then with a burst of electrical energy, I need a cybertech check from you, Pixie. As this EMP grenade explodes.
Where is that in our...
Cybertech is going to be under the technique rolls, at least on Foundry. That's a good question.
Ah. Found it.
Perfect. Yeah, it's under technique. There we go. An 8.
Oh, no.
Not so much. So, what sort of, as a reminder to both me and the audience here, what sort of cyber tech or cyberware does Pixie have?
She has neural implants. Hold on, let me remind myself. So she has interface plugs, so that allows her to control her vehicle. And a neural link.
Okay. Let's see, or
And then she just has like aesthetics things.
got it. So say neural link. Link interface and the agent. Got it. In that case, I'm going to say that your the neural link and the interface, separate things. I'm going to say that your agent and that interface there, what you plug in to drive your car with, both of those are going to fizzle out and become inoperable for the time being, as this EMP grenade does its work. Inside here, you do see more, at least in Opera's opinion, probably a lot of kitsch, more of these statues, very clearly very like body mod forward heavy here.
Opera is literally like, oh, Comet, even your choices of death traps are hack.
Yeah. Seems as if it Comet is trying to hide something here, but for the time being, yes, you have entry.
Bitsy, you okay?
Yeah, kind of like have some tinnitus or something going on, but
Oof.
I'll be okay, I think.
Right.
Okay. You enter inside. You see kind of the usual bits: living room, you see kitchen, dining room. Again, there is a lot of sort of body art in here. And you do hear this guy has like no chill. I mean, art is cool or whatever, but this is a lot. This guy's a lot, clearly. So, what do you do?
Can we search for signs of struggle or disturbance? Anything obviously out of place? I don't want to pry too far into Comet's business if I can't. And
Yeah, you just broke into his house. That's all.
my icy exterior conceals a deep well of concern.
Yes, exactly.
I just have 2 empathy.
Okay. I would say this is... You may make either a perception or a conceal and reveal object check.
Oh.
Damn.
Oh, perfect. I just got my eyes rotated.
Oops. Sorry, I forgot to crawl that back. Whew. Once again, we've got a nearly perfect roll from Opera for perception. I would say so you said you're looking for signs of like disturbance or anything like that. Pixie and Patch, are you also taking a look around?
I would like to look for any like concealed compartments or rooms where Comet might be if he is in this building.
Okay, then from you, I definitely want a conceal and reveal object check. And Patch, what's on your agenda?
Is Opera making it clear that he's concerned about where Comet would have gone or what happened to them?
You tell us, Opera.
Opera is not. He is struggling to communicate his emotions.
Okay, but I guess the question is, at this point, would Patch know that it's strange that Comet is not here? Because if not, she would not be looking for anything. But if it is obvious that this is not right, she would probably help Opera in trying to find out where where they would have gone.
I think the grenade might be a giveaway that not all is as it seems.
The grenade is
Yeah.
a giveaway that somebody trapped their house against intruders, which Patch would actually understand.
I don't know. Are booby traps considered sort of just a normal home security thing in
Hey,
Echo
to,
Center?
to her, the entire Technohemian community is kind of strange, so
Oh,
she doesn't
so-
put anything
So
past them.
this is like when you go to Japan and the toilet talks to you. You're like, oh, I guess that's just how it is here.
My mind did not go quite that far so fast, but sure.
Yeah.
Also,
We-
you just saw a bunch of pretty lights because you have no even tech wear at all.
Yeah, that's the other thing is,
Sure.
even if you hadn't dodged it, Patch, I don't think you've got. Well, your
Yeah.
agent probably would have fritzed out, but that's about it. Cool. I would say that one. I mean, it's just entirely possible that Comet's just not at home doing something else right now. As far as the booby trap thing goes, it's not uncommon in Echo Center proper. I would say something quite like this you wouldn't necessarily expect out in the Technohemian community. But you did also just break into somebody's home. So,
That weighs heavily on our mind, too.
Yeah.
And the
So-
fact that, like, Opera does not see anything wrong with that at all.
Yeah.
She's just kind of like, no, what? No? Huh?
There is no ethical consumption under capitalism, I say, digging through his underwear drawer.
So are you looking for him or are you looking for his things? I'm trying to figure this out.
Well, he is our best lead right now as to who is putting a profanity filter on our good friends, the computer who talks to us.
Okay. All right.
Exactly. Still waiting to deal with that.
Oh, yeah. We'll get you back to normal in no time. Okay, so what's the plan here, Opera? What are we doing?
so here,
Well, we have to find where he is, so we need to find a sign that he either
Okay.
is here and hiding or unconscious or, God forbid, dead, or we need to find some kind of convenient indicator of where he has gone, which I assume one of those two things is inevitably going to be present. Otherwise, it would be a very confusing sidetrack.
Yeah,
DM,
there's
now she
nothing
would
here.
help. What's that?
No, I was just like, yeah, there's just nothing here at all. Yeah. What a fulfilling quest, yes. Yeah, so yeah, Patch, you're able to pitch in depending on like what exact. So Opera was looking for signs of a struggle. Pixie was looking for hidden things. What would Patch be looking for? Or you can also choose to help. I think that's a thing.
Hey, Opera, does Comet have normal blood? Or
The word normal is very pejorative in this community.
my
but
apologies. Do they possess something that allows them to continue living that
Yes.
may resemble some? Okay.
And if I am not mistaken, I would assume that Comet probably keeps some extra. He is rather the surgical experimenter.
Okay. Let's see here. All right, this might be kind of strange. I do have a biomonitor that picks up vital readouts.
Okay. Now we're
Could
talking.
I use that to see if there's any signs of life beyond us?
Yeah. Are you able to pull up what the language on that, like what it says?
I can do it on my screen.
Yeah.
It literally just says description provides an LED showing vitals readouts can be linked to your agent.
Okay. Yeah. I like this. I would say with that, I'm not even going to call for a roll. So with these various checks as well as the bioscanner, let me bring this back over, to that screen. You, Opera, with your phenomenal perception here, you actually do not find any sort of signs of a struggle. Best you can tell, it just seems as if nobody is home. Patch, with your bioscanner, you plug that in, and the only blips that you are able to pick up is the three of you. I would say that what was I saying? With that 27 perception, one thing I will say is that while you're looking around, I feel like you hear just a little bit of kind of like faint echoes of like metallic tapping, but you don't see anything that they belong to. With a 23 conceal reveal object from Pixie, you there's sort of like a workshop type area towards the back of the first floor here, and in the corner there is another statue. This one seems a bit more articulated, fully formed, and what you notice is that they're sort of in the 23 is very good. Yeah, with a 23, you notice that one of the hands has a little less dust on it than the rest of this statue here. If you would like to, fiddle with that at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can grab it.
Yeah.
See what happens.
So you fiddle with this hand a little bit, and sort of it is mobile. You're able to kind of move it into different positions, and we'll say based on 23, a little bit of a hunch here. You manipulate the hand so that it just forms this gesture, just like one finger pointing down. And when you do that, there is sort of a noise of some metal sliding that you hear from like under the rug nearby. You look under the rug, and there is a hatch. There's a ladder that leads down.
Hey guys.
A trap door to a secret basement.
Yeah, talk about cliche. God.
Not
Nobody
imaginative
stand
enough
in
for you
front of
guys?
any bookcases.
I think it's fun.
You take care not to stand in front of any bookcases, but yes, I will say, and with that, continuing the perception from before, that sort of metallic clicking noise, that sort of like tapping noise that you heard from before, gets just a little bit louder as this hatch now lies open. What do you do?
Well, I'm not inclined to doubt Comet's intentions, I say, unshouldering my rifle, but perhaps we should doubt Comet's intentions.
Is the tapping rhythmic, or is it like an organic being making this noise? Does that make sense? Like,
yes, I do know what you're asking. It's metallic, so like it's probably not like a cat or something, unless he's really gone off the deep end, Comet. But
is it like somebody in their workshop working on something, or is it like a steady rhythmic movement, like a clock?
so yes, to your point, it is not like a steady rhythmic like clock, something that it does appear to be a little bit irregular. So I guess or organic in the sense that, yeah. I know what
organic,
yes,
like
I know
somebody
what
doing
you're
something.
yeah, I know what you're going for. I'm just trying to get the words out. Yes. Whatever this is, there is some sort of, yeah, it is irregular, arrhythmic. They do seem to come in clusters. That is what I will give you. They like come in clusters, but yeah, it is not regular.
Shall we venture down?
I say
Yes.
sure, but also seeing what Opera did, Patch is going to follow suit and just keep her shotgun handy.
I think that perhaps I should lead.
Can I make sure that there's no other similar traps to the one we walked in before?
Yeah, you can make a perception check, at least here on the hatch opening. 19. Very nice. You do not spot any traps like right here at the opening. All right. You climb. Opera, you said you were leading. For argument's sake, just in case, what's the order here? So Opera's first, who's second, who's third?
I'm gonna hide behind Patch and her shotgun.
Fair enough. All right, so we've got Opera, then Patch, then Pixie. You climb on down. So switch up the background. Perfect. It is like a full story or two down underground here, and very quickly you get the sense that as the sort of like ambient sounds from outside seem to vanish quite quickly. However this thing is built, it does seem to be pretty heavily reinforced as the whole ambient sound starts to fade away. Climbing all the way down to the bottom, you see this, sort of bunker-like area. You see, at first you see some more tools, some more materials. Opera, you would recognize some of this as a little bit harder to acquire. Some of these materials, nothing. Oh, I was about to say nothing necessarily illicit, except for, visually at least, there's nothing that looks illegal or illicit, but just kind of like rarer materials, rarer stuff. And then, notably, in front of you, there is this big bunker door right there in front. This,
My God, what is Comet up to down here?
I would say as well that, again, I feel like, Opera, this is something that you would notice. This construction seems recent, like very recent.
Well, and also it sounds presumably like one person probably couldn't do this by themselves, or does it seem like it could theoretically be the work of one person?
It could be one person, but even with someone of your skills or Comet skills, it would take a while. I would say so. Either Comet had help, or he just took a long time to construct this. And yes, thank you, Fanus, for the contribution to the community challenge. We are real close here to changing friend computer settings. Okay. But yeah, this is pretty resource intensive. That much you can say for sure. What do you do?
Well, we should keep proceeding until he finds the source of this.
I make sure my shotgun is fully loaded.
Very good. Yeah. Double check all your weapons. Make sure everything is loaded. This bunker in front. This is yet another. I would say, yeah. This is just like full on. Actually, with your, I may regret this Calvin ball. Opera, you with your somewhat newer Netrunner expertise, you recognize this as an interface point. So there, whatever security is built into this door, you could try and like manually bust this. It might. There's no telling if like trying to bust it physically, manually, might just lock it all down. Or it could open it, hard to say. But it seems as if you were to net run into here, you might be able to disable this security.
I am very bad at net running, for what it's worth. I am a level 1 net runner, so if this is literally challenging at all in any way for a normal, like, level 1, like, character creation net runner, I will probably not be able to do it. And besides, the idea of jacking into a port that Comet has been involved with is very uncomfortable to me. Perhaps we should try and open this manually.
Okay.
Believe in yourself, Opera.
I believe in... Sledgehammer hand comes out again.
Well, that is manual.
Fantastic. So in that case, I would say either electronics if you're trying to do that, or if you are going like full on manual sledgehammer, then that would be athletics to just beat the hell out of this thing.
I will. Oh no! I was about to say I will always attempt electronics, but in this case I rolled a 1.
Well, with that crit failure, a 15, that is, in fact, not going to do the trick.
Alright, looks like we're going to have to go with some percussive maintenance.
Well, as a matter of fact here, with the failure, there is a blip from this electronic lock, and that metallic clicking now you hear much, much closer to you. Let's see. Do I want to... no, let's just do this the old-fashioned way. You hear sort of like a little alarm beep, 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 beeps, and that clicking that you heard before, now as you look around, you see that sort of climbing along the ceiling and out from behind one of these boxes, you see these spider drones here that seem to be definitely armed and pointing at you. I need everybody to roll initiative, please. Let's, I don't have a map for this, but let's, first off, let me start some combat. Let me go back to the landing page since you're all here. Not you, Bo.
I always forget how to roll initiative.
So I'm throwing y'all into, so if there in the top right in the foundry, you'll see the crossed swords, and I've added y'all to the combat. Y'all should be able to click right in there. And
Well, today's going great.
oh no. And let's see if we can get a quickly find. That was the one thing I did not grab was some battle. More battle music, that's fine. We'll just I'll figure that out in a second, probably, like, while one of y'all are doing something. In any case, so we've got 8, 12, 15, wow, Pat. Yeah, that was the same last session, too. Pat's having a rough go of it here. And let me roll for our spider drone friends. I believe it's plus reflex. Yes. So that is a... Well, that makes things actually very easy since they rolled the exact same number. As a matter of fact. Okay. I believe I can... No? Can I? Apologies, I'm a little less familiar now. I don't think I can actually create custom things, but that's okay. My brain will remember. Just imagine that there is something at initiative 13 here in the order. So, with that in mind, as these spider drones are clattering on, they're in position, pointed at you. Pixie, you are in fact the first one to move. What do you do?
How many drones are we dealing with?
There are 2 of them.
I guess I will just take out my pistol and fire at the one that's closest to me.
All right. Yes, we can definitely do that. Yeah, there's a little bit of combat for you. Very good. So I'm going to do my best here to do a little bit of theater of the mind with Cyberpunk. It is not exactly super well equipped to that as far as I can tell, but we're going to do it anyway. As far as closest to you, let me think about that. The closest one to you is going to be... Really? About 4 meters. Oh, that's way too close. There's one about 10 meters from you, and the other is 14 meters from you.
Okay, well, I'll just do the closest one.
Sorry, so you are with this melee attack. Okay.
Oh, that's the wrong thing.
Yep.
Sorry.
No worries. Well, I will...
It's the same mods, though.
Same mod. Okay. Perfect. So. If that is the case... Okay, so it's still plus 8, plus 6. Okay. A 23. What are you shooting here?
Like, what weapon am I using?
Yes.
My medium pistol.
Perfect. In that case, I'm pretty certain that is going to hit. You said the closest one. Yep. That will, in fact, hit. Roll your damage. You should be able to click the little blood drop there, which will do the damage.
Can I do I have to do the blood drop on the pistol then? Since I did the wrong...
Oh, yes, that's right. Then, yes, there should still be a blood drop next to your pistol.
Okay.
Uh, 9 points of damage. Very good. All right. Noted. Your pistol rings out here. I've got one for this. This little hitting this target sputters a little bit. Still up. Would you like to move at all?
Is there anything that I can take like cover behind down here?
Yeah, there's like some like supplies, like crates and stuff that you could try and tuck behind. These are like spider drones. They might be able to get a good angle on you, but it's better than nothing.
Yeah. So I'll just duck behind whatever's closest for now.
Okay. With that is going to be the spider drone's turns. So with that, come on, work with me here. Perfect. Those two spider drones are in fact going to move in on the two people who aren't currently hidden behind crates. One of them is going to move towards Opera. The say a map would have been helpful for this. Bit of a leading question, but Patch and Opera, like about how close were you when this all went down? So Opera, you're at the door. Patch, are you standing like close by, ready with a shotgun, or like how far back were you standing?
That actually is going to depend on Pixie, because I know Pixie was waiting behind me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I probably would have been a couple of steps back from Opera, just in case, because we would have expected things to be coming from that direction.
Fair enough.
Does that make sense?
Yep. Okay, so at least it's not staying right behind. What I will give you, I'm going to roll do a quick fortune roll here. 6 through 10, because there's an AoE here. 6 through 10, y'all are not close enough to be able to hit you both at once. 1 through 5, you are. 7. You are standing just far enough back that it's not going to be able to hit both of you in this little AoE here. So first off, one of them skitters up towards Opera, and you see a little bit of a pilot light ignite right there in front of this barrel as it try and hits you with a flamethrower. So
Evasion.
You absolutely may roll evasion, as it is going to roll.
Dragon Force begins playing.
It's gonna be shoulder arms, I believe, because I'm using. Yeah.
I swear to God, if I get killed by Comet's hackneyed security devices, I'm going to murder him.
Unfortunately, yeah, it's pretty good with this heavy weapon, but not good
not
enough.
On a 3, he's not.
Not on a 3. So with that, you're able to dodge out of the way of this flamethrower here, Opera. Yep, no damage. The other one is it skitters behind. We'll say that, yeah, it's going to be much closer now. It is basically within melee range of you here, Opera. It's like up on the wall. I'll say there's like 1 square separating you, so it's 4 meters away from you. Patch, this one, as its barrel turns towards you, it's going to. There is a dart headed your way. That was the further one. That was 14, so it needs to roll. Roll about the same. Using one of the Mook stats just sort of as a base. But as far as that goes, so pistol, I said it was 14 away, which means that
16.
DV 20 on this one. So with a 16. Oh, sorry. I accidentally had Pixie clicked when I rolled those, but ignore where it says Pixie. That is going to be a miss as well. As you see this little dart fly out of the barrel, and you manage to just barely get out of the way as it bears itself into the ground. I would allow you to make a quick. I'll allow you to make a medical check here, since I think weapons tech is not a thing. But for let's see, that would be. Yeah, I think your medicine or yeah, one of your med tech skills. I'll let you roll. Something
okay.
medicine, something medicine adjacent. It will make sense here in just a second.
Medicine adjacent. I
Is this a
have
first aid, paramedic? Yeah.
Okay, let's do that then. Oof! Wow, 2 for
Patch,
2.
come on.
Yikes. With that, yeah.
No idea.
Foundry just does not like you. With that, you see that when this dart hits the ground, you see some sort of liquid coming out of it, but with a 10, you're not really sure what that is. Okay, they too have moved. That is going to be the next person's turn, which is Opera.
You said there was one of them that's very close to me.
Yeah, it's 4 meters from you right now.
I'm gonna release my hold on my shoulder-strapped rifle and move over it, and I'm just going to try and punch it to death.
Okay.
Hey, I have 6 points in judo, thank you.
What did you do today, Opera? I punched a spider to death.
All right, so the rate of fire of martial arts attacks is 2, so I'm going to roll 2 of these.
Very good.
Nice.
These are skittery little beings, so let's see some evasion.
Oh.
Nope.
Yeah, so not that evasive.
Not that evasive. Excuse me, that's supposed to be plus 13, not plus 6. But in any case, first one's going to hit. Where did my music go? Oh, I had loop on the wrong track, that's why. Yep, all right, that is a miss in both cases. Roll your damage.
Let's see.
And since Pixie said she shot the closer one, if memory serves, this is the one that has already been damaged a little bit. Okay, 23 points of damage. Big money. Whew. 23. Yeah, this little spider bot looks real bad off. There's some sparks going. You see that pilot light flicker a little bit as you just punch the ever-loving bejesus out of this drone here. It is clinging to activation and the wall, but it is, yeah. You suspect that a stiff breeze would likely knock this thing down at this point. Anything else? I think that's it. Any more movement, I suppose. All right. In that case, we're going to patch.
Okay. Question.
Yes.
If I aim at the one that Opera is currently punching, and I roll about as well as I have been tonight, what are the odds that it's going to hit him instead? Are there odds it would hit him instead?
Normally, no. I know, again, this is... The luck has not been great. I will say that if you roll anything other than a crit fail, then it will not hit Opera. If there is a crit fail in there, then it might hit Opera.
Opera, what are your feelings? I might hit you.
Go for it!
Yeah, style over substance. That's the
All right.
Cyberpunk creed.
I'll go for it.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I would say that Patch's bad luck streak has been broken as the Harm Assist is in full display here. I'll roll evasion, but I really think there's not a lot of point.
Patch with a shotgun is no joke.
Yeah, not even close. Okay, go ahead and click that little drop to roll damage on this thing. Yeah, 16 points of damage. It was already extremely damaged. I've got one. Yeah, just blast this thing into tiny little parts and pieces and bits as it just scatters across the floor. That spider drone has been ganked. All right.
Good job, Patch. You've put that horrible creature and apparently is a photo artist that lives inside it out of its misery.
Wait, what? Yeah, there's just a person in there. No. I'd say that has been took 3 squares, I think, to get close enough to be able to shotgun blast this thing. So, depending on what your move is, you could use the rest of your move to move back towards the other one.
Sorry, I'm just trying to visualize this.
Yeah.
So how close am I? Oh, I'm sorry. What?
So yeah, I'll paint it a little bit. So there was one, so it had come on down the wall to just full on flamethrower in front that just got blown to bits. The other one is sort of more towards the back in the corner that was trying to like snipe with that dart, which in retrospect he was supposed to have 2 of those, but Jonathan messed up. But that's fine. Yes, and that one is now a little bit further away from you. Let's say you moved up 3 squares, so that's about 20 meters away from you.
Okay. So one left?
Yes, 1 left.
Okay. I don't know how I got it in my mind that there were 4 of these things and we're down to 3 now. So okay. this is a little bit better. But if I stay where I am, I will not. I'm further away than when I started.
Yes.
From that particular one? Okay. Can I take the rest of my movement to back up further from that?
To try and get more distance? Yeah, I'd say you can.
Yes. So I would do that, and as I do that, I would call out to the others. Don't know what that's trying to do, but it's got darts and it doesn't look pretty.
Yeah. Just shoot it with a shotgun. That's their weakness. Excellent. So yeah, you do that. What's your move score?
I think it's 5.
5.
Okay.
Okay.
That's my other question, I guess. If I back up all the way now, is it going to take more than 5 to get close enough to try and use the shotgun next time? This is all assuming it doesn't move. It might move, but...
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, there's 11 there. Yeah, you would be too far away for a single movement into shotgun range if you move further away now.
Okay, then I'll just stay where I am.
Okay, you stay where you are. Very good. That's going to bring us back around to the top to Pixie.
All right. Am I close enough to shoot the last one? From my hiding spot?
Yeah, from your hiding spot, I would say you are... about 10... We'll say 12 meter distance, because it's kind of up on the wall a little bit.
Okay.
But yeah, you can shoot it.
Fire. And I also forgot that I have a rate of fire of 2, so...
There you go. All right. For a 12 meter distance, that is DV 15. Or I guess it's going to try and evade, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, go ahead and give it a shot. Actually, yeah. Yes, that was definitely on purpose to give it evasion, so I didn't have to worry about DV values. Yes, that was entirely on purpose. 22, not bad.
I rolled twice, right? And then
Yes. All right, 22 and a 16. Let's see how it dodges the first one. Does manage to dodge that first one. Dodges both of them.
what a jerk.
Damn.
As this
That is a
rolls-
jerk spider.
Yeah, it is a jerk spider.
As all spiders are, really.
Fair.
Very good. Any movement?
Am I able to back up and duck behind cover behind me?
You can try and just like reposition yourself, ducking behind these boxes continuously. Put a little bit more distance. Yeah. Okay. Very good. Then with that. Oh, I just had it. Sorry, 1 second. Okay. Here it is. Yes. Perfect. Okay. The remaining spider drone is going to skitter. At least so far, it had. Pixie took some shots at it. It's going to up onto the ceiling here to get that angle on you, Pixie, and it's going to try and shoot you. I believe. Let me double check that. Plus. Yep. All right. First is a holy. All right, let me roll another just flat D10 on top of that. So that is a 27 on that first attack there, Pixie. You can try and evade it if you would like.
Yes, please. And I would like to spend some luck.
By all means. Pretty good. Unfortunately, does not overcome that 27. So let's resolve this first one before we do a second attack. So this dart hits you here. I would like you to please make a resist torture / drugs check.
Oh, God.
A 10. 10 is not going to cut it here. This dart hits you, and your vision sort of blurs here for a little bit as you sway on your feet, and then you fall unconscious to the ground as you get hit with this sleep ammunition.
Jerk spider. I don't like it.
Jerk spider. Attack number 2. Shotgun bad, punching also bad. Shotgun seems to be, I think, at least the immediate danger to it being up on the ceiling. I'm going with that AI protocol. Skitter. Yep, shot coming in for Patch here.
And I'm still confused on the evasion. Do I?
Holy crap. I don't think so, since your
Okay.
reflex score is what exactly?
It's not good. It's 5.
Okay, yeah. Reflex 8 and above, you're able to use evasion rather than relying on distance DVs, difficulty values.
I got you.
But in this case, this is bananas. It has rolled so many 10s, more 10s than I've ever gotten so far. So that is a 25, which, yeah, is going to be able to overcome the DV here. I was going to kind of eyeball it, but 25, yeah, is going to be a DV in this case, in this little bunker room here. I need you to please roll a resist drug / torture roll. A 15. 15 is 15 in this particular case is yeah. So I'm gonna can't keep the sorry. I'm gonna keep this a little bit interesting. You do not fall to the ground unconscious like Pixie here, but you are sort of drowsy based off this thing. I will say for the next for the just very near future here, I'm going to, much like I gave Opera here, give you a -1 on all of your stuff here as you are rendered drowsy, but you stay awake. That is going to be its full movement here. Its full turn. I'm going to say that it is skittered over about. Feels appropriate. Yeah, it is about with ceiling and room distance about 18. We'll say 18 meters away from y'all there towards the vault door. That is going to bring us to Opera's turn.
Well, if it's still out of reach, I'm going to stay where I am, and I'm going to, again, pull my machine gun off of my shoulder, and I'm going to attempt to fire at it with my assault rifle.
Very good.
Let us see. Roll an attack. Hope this does it correctly. 23.
It does. Or 22 with your -1. It is going to... Right. I believe it's 13 as its evasion bonus. I am reasonably certain.
Well, it's been so far, unless they've been doing reps in between turns.
Yeah, they have. No. Okay, not enough. You deal your damage.
Fire! Oh my god.
That's a lot of ones.
Oh man.
Wow.
You managed to just... in this case, with this 7, you do not overcome its armor plating here. It just seems to like blink off.
This is what I get for buying my machine guns at the Stormtrooper surplus store.
Excellent. What's your rate of fire with your assault rifle?
1.
Just 1? Okay.
Assault rifle is 1.
Yeah, because of the high damage. That makes sense. Okay. In that case, that's going to bring us to Patch.
Okay. Am I within range still?
Not currently, no.
How close would I have to get?
So it's up on the ceiling. I would say if you want to get up into range into shotgun blast range, let's, again, keep things interesting here. You'd be able to use either athletics or acrobatics to, like, jump off of a crate and blast this thing.
Okay. Why would you find acrobatics?
Or did I say acrobatics? No, there's wrong system. I think it just is athletics. Excuse me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, straight up athletics check to try and just like jump up and blast this thing.
Okay.
With a 13, so the 14 -1 for being drowsy. Unfortunately, yeah, 13 is it's not going to cut it here. I will say you don't just beef it on the ground here, but the crate turns out to be a little bit more unstable than you had hoped, and you just it takes you like your movement to just keep yourself from fully falling and being on the ground and bad. What I will say is your movement is burned. Roll straight D10 for me as a luck check. 6. 6 through 10 is good. 1 through 5 is not as good. I will say you do land such that you are next to Pixie. You have not used your action yet. If you want to try and wake her up, you may.
I'd like to, yeah.
Okay. You use your action to shake Pixie. So Pixie, you are currently prone. But I would say prone, and I'm going to say I will make you have the drowsy condition as well. So everybody's got a -1. But you are awake.
And I'm just gonna crouch down next to Pixie and go, "Hi, that spider sucks. We need to do something."
Yeah, he's a real jerk.
Yeah.
So thanks for waking me up.
Indeed.
Now let's kill this thing.
Mm.
All right, fantastic. And yeah, I got an eye on the clock here. I think once however this combat shakes out, we will take our break thereafter. In the meantime, Pixie, that is your turn. So currently you are prone, but you're awake. What do you do? As far as what prone entails, thankfully, it's got a page number for me here. Prone. Okay, so the thing about being prone is you just can't move until you use the action get up. So you can still shoot from the ground, but you won't be able to move until you use the action to actually stand up.
But the spider's within range, right?
Yeah.
From where I am? Then yeah, pew pew.
Yeah. The room's not so big that a pistol won't reach. All right, have a shot. Or two. Ooh. Okay, so we've got a 15,
Nice.
but also...
But I have a -1.
Yes, so we got a 15 and a 29. Still pretty dang good. Let's see how we do on that evasion. So that 15 will miss, but... Ooh. So it crit fails on that second one. That your crit hit absolutely hits. Have at it. Five. Unfortunately, yep, continues to blink, 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 plank off that armor here. Seems like as while it's up on the ceiling here, it's definitely got the upper hand. Okay, that is going to bring.
I can't get up then, right?
No.
Okay.
So yeah, each turn in combat you get one action and one move action. But being prone, you can't actually use that move until you use your action to stand up. But you've used it to shoot your gun. Okay.
Yep.
That is going to be the drone's turn. It did get shot at with an assault rifle, so it is going to try and shoot back at you here. So here come a couple of attack rolls against Opera. 14, I believe, is the correct. Yep. Ooh, that is going to be a crit fail. Let me go ahead and roll that out. Oh my god! So that is a 5. Are you still using evasion here, Opera? Might as well. Yeah. Check, just to make sure you don't crit fail as well. Yeah, you're easily fine.
It's intimidated by Opera's superior technology.
For real. I will say, just keep things fun. If it crit fails again, we'll see what happens with our spider drone friend here. It does not crit fail. So that is a 22. But that is also a 22. Also a 22. But in this system, the ties go to the defender. So you just...
I'm the defender. Yes.
You just barely... You hear that whizzing of a dart past your ear as it clatters on the wall behind you here.
It grazes him across the lip, and he starts just talking. Whoever said that you need sleep?
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, just a little touch of anesthesia there. Very good. It feels just fine up here on the ceiling. So, Opera, that's going to be your turn.
Well, me and Sieglinde need to try and win back our respect for ourselves, so I'm going to fire at him again. Ach, meine Güte.
All right. Dodge is the first one.
I only get one shot with the assault
Oh,
rifle.
that's right. So does
Is anybody asleep? Does anybody need to be like kicked awake that I can move next to for next turn?
I woke Pixie up,
yeah.
so
Hey,
we're good
yeah.
for now.
everybody is
Alright, I
awake
think
for now?
I think that's what I'm doing. I'm just gonna keep trying to be menacing and dodge hits.
Okay. Very good. And then that will bring us to Patch.
So is this sucker still on the ceiling?
Yep.
So I have to do athletics again to try and reach it with a shotgun?
If you're continuing to use your shotgun, then yes.
What else I could use?
Yeah, that's the.
I could scream at it.
Yeah.
Does the shotgun have a shorter range than a pistol?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, shotguns. You can get slug ammunition, which gives you some range, but default. Which actually, Patch, if you've got slug ammo, I think it's an action to reload, so you could give yourself a little bit of range. But default shotgun shells have a big AOE just directly in front of you, so that's sort of the
Gotcha.
trade-off for shotguns. Is you can hit a bunch of people at once, but
I didn't know. I saw the slugs in the compendium, but I didn't know that they
Yeah.
had a different range. So.
Yeah. Hey, we're all learning. Okay.
Okay, so yeah, I guess I will have to do athletics again.
Hell yeah. I think that's the same
Wow.
roll as last time.
I
That
think so, yeah.
15 down to a 14, drowsy.
Yeah, I got nothing. That's that was all I could try.
Yeah. I will say at least you do keep from beefing it, but so you don't fall prone, but unfortunately just trying to find a stable box here. Brings us back around to Pixie.
Can I? So I have a grapple gun.
Mhm.
Can I use it on this spider to pull it down from the ceiling?
Absolutely yes.
Yes.
Because
What do I
that
roll
is
for?
rad. I don't think that's how a grappling gun is supposed to work, but it's going to work like that now. Awesome. Go ahead and roll. I mean, it's grappling gun. Yeah, I use the same. I would say the same modifier as your pistol. Like it's still basically a handgun.
Okay.
Ooh, that's pretty good. That is a 22. I'm going to give you ROF 1 for this, so you just get one shot for the turn. Let's see how it does on that evasion. It's going to have to roll very well. It does not roll well enough. So you do, in fact, manage to get that grapple and yank it down from the ceiling to the floor. No
Yes.
damage, but it is now very much on the floor in range. It was going to be able to do something to kind of move the needle forward here, but now that it's on the ground, it's going to be its turn. You're still prone. As you yank itself down, now that it is in melee range, what it is going to do is... Let's go over to... you see that it like holds up one of these spider leg limbs, and you see some electricity coursing through it, and it is going to try and it's going to try and smack you here, Pixie, for I haven't dragged it down.
Would it not still be grappled? I don't know how that works.
Yeah, so it's not going to be able to move very far, but since you've yanked it down next to you, it is also very much in shotgun range, but I would say it would need to spend an action to detangle itself to be able to move.
Gotcha.
But it's just going to try and hit you.
Yeah.
So that is a 17 aimed at you here, Pixie. You may use evasion if you wish. 17 evade. 17 evade. Oh, but 16 due to drowsy. Unfortunately, that is a hit.
Oh man.
Okay. What it is going to do is... I just added. Here we go. I think the stun... Okay, I know what I'm going to do. So yeah, gets the one hit on you here. That is... Yeah, 6 points of damage, which I'm guessing doesn't even get past your armor.
Mm-mm.
Oh, but this, because of the electricity, excuse me, it does not ablate your armor, but it does ignore it. If you would please also roll a resist drugs torture check.
Mm.
12. With a 12, with this, as this electricity courses through you, not only do you take that 6 points of damage, but you are like hit with this stun baton, essentially. You are not knocked out, rendered unconscious, but unfortunately your action next turn is going to be burned.
Okay.
This particular weapon, yep, it's a basically a medium melee weapon, so it's got RF2. It's going to try and hit Patch. There's only a 15 DV for melee, as I remember myself. Melee attack plus D10. Oh, that's right. For you can yeah, I think you do go ahead and roll evasion here, Patch.
Okay.
As I just remind myself of, yeah.
22 or 21, I guess.
Ooh, okay. So yeah, you manage to it being tangled up in this grappling wire. You manage to avoid its second swing, which means that it is Opera's turn. And for argument's sake,
If I am not mistaken, this creature is now in range of Hans und Franz again.
correct.
So I'm going to release the grip on my assault rifle and move to judo chop them.
Fantastic. Yeah, I'll say it uses your full movement to get in range, but yes, you may do so.
My movement is very high.
Very
So
good.
21 and 15.
Very good, very good. I'm going to give it -1 to its evasion since it's tangled up in the stuff. So first one hits.
Second one, probably not.
Second one is going to miss, but you hit it the first time.
That's alright. We're making progress.
And the good thing is, as I'm reminding myself of how melee combat works, is you do get to ignore half of its armor by using melee weapons. So that is 10. Very good. Yeah, you
Rolling well under EV.
unfortunately correct, but you do manage to damage it, ablate its armor a bit as you just judo chop this thing. Very nice. Shrinks us to.
And that'll be it for me.
Yep. Brings us to Patch.
Right. Can I move back a little and still be in range?
Yes.
I'd like to do that.
Okay. Yeah, and I will say it's so everyone's kind of around it right now, but I would say with Pixie being prone, you've definitely got a angle of attack that can avoid your friends here.
Yeah. Definitely. And basically, I'm just trying to stay out of the stun range if possible.
Fair enough.
That is. And yeah, shotgun to the face, if it has a face.
It's got a little camera eye. All right, so that's an 18
Not as good.
versus
Really?
a 20.
Yeah.
Manages to avoid your shotgun blast.
Yeah, that's all I got.
All right. Back around to Pixie.
Can't do anything.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you.
Oh, but I can get up. I'm gonna get up.
Your action is burned. You are just sort of
even
stunned
my
on the ground
movement?
there.
Yeah,
since you're prone.
because to get up, it's an action. Right,
Yep.
right.
Which brings us back around to the thing. With Opera in range, yep, it's going to try and hit Opera first. What did I give it? Or what did I have? Just 13. Okay.
Oh no.
So, sorry, was that a melee attack?
Am I the only one that can't hear John?
Oh, sorry. I managed to hit the mute button on myself somehow. Apologies. So that is 8 damage. Ignore armor on you here, Opera, and I need a resist drug/torture check.
Well...
14 is going to do it. You feel yourself be jolted, but you do manage to resist getting your action burned for next turn here.
I experience verse recreationally.
It is going to try and hit you again, though.
Ugh.
Oh, rolled off that 10, so that is only a 17. Ties, but -1.
Nope,
That is a hit.
yep. My God, we're getting soloed by this one spike.
Soloed by this little, yeah. So that's the thing that can happen in Cyberpunk. Like, we've seen very powerful things just be completely ineffective, but also this little spider drone is crashing trees. Yeah, exactly. So that is another 8 points.
So I took the damage and I rolled the resist torture and failed.
Yes. So that's another 8 damage. This time you do get jolted. Your action is burned for next round, which just happens now. You with an 11, it's not bad enough. I won't make you fall prone, but you are just sort of like lose your action this time. I would say you can move if you want, though. I'd give you move action.
I mean, I want to punch it, ideally.
Okay.
At some point.
Then that'll be Patch.
Yeah, okay. Second verse, same as the first. Please actually work this time. Oh, God.
I am so sorry. Yeah. Well, I'll roll evasion. It's possible.
This is going from, like, surprisingly worthy adversary to dramatic statistical anomaly.
Right?
Oh, that's a crit fail.
Oh, if it rolls a 9. Nope.
It rolled off the 9 onto the 1. So yeah, that shotgun blast, unfortunately, it does miss, but closer than you thought. Okay, that
And
is.
I'll back up more.
Okay, you back up a little bit more with your move for sure. It's gonna bring us to Pixie. You're prone, but now you've got an action.
I
And we'll say,
is it within melee? With
Yes.
me still.
Mhm.
Oh, then I'm gonna hit it.
do it.
Hit it.
Hit it with what?
I'm gonna hit it twice. I don't know. I have a medium melee weapon.
Heck yeah. What is your medium melee weapon?
Well, it looks like a bat. I don't know if it actually is a bat.
Sure, it can be a bat. All right, let's go to town with this bat. Okay.
Ooh.
That is 2 18s. Its evasion is reduced. First one misses. Second one hits.
Well, that's something, I suppose.
Ooh, rough on those rolls. That is another. So with that smack here, it does look like it's in pretty bad it is in bad shape. Like, the damage is starting to add up here, especially with these melee hits, since it ignores a fair amount of the armor and ablates it. Yeah, it's in rougher shape here. Okay. With your turn, that is going to bring it to its turn. It didn't care for being hit with a bat, so it is going to try and hit you back here, Pixie. Which is a 14. Come on. Huh? Oh. Only an 18. You can roll evasion on that. Oh no. So that's
Oh my god.
That's gonna hit. Please roll that resist, if you would, please. The drugs torture.
This frickin' spider.
Oh my god. What is happening tonight, y'all?
Foundry really doesn't like us. They wants us to die.
Apparently. And that is a full 12 points of damage on that 2d6, and you are zapped. It'll burn your next action. Second attack is going for Opera. Which turns out to be a 26. Y'all are having Jather's luck. This is bananas. Oh, hey, Jeff. Yep. I mean, yeah, there is like a little spider drone that is currently soloing the party, but it'll be fine, right?
Jeff, we're not doing so
with
good.
Jeff here, yes. Jeff will turn around the luck.
One little spider drone, and it's been like an hour.
Yeah, the first one just got blasted to hell immediately. Fortunately, it was the one with the flamethrower, so at least there is that. Oh boy. Yeah, so that is going to big time fail. That is another 5 points of damage. I will say, since it is ignoring your armor, so it also does not ablate it. Even just to make that nice
Great,
clear.
they can bury me in my pristine armor jack.
Yep. So that is another 5 points of damage, and if you will please roll the resist. Oh, and with Jeff's contribution, we have succeeded in the community challenge to change friend computer's settings. We will address that when
Its new setting can
we
give
can.
our eulogy.
Yeah. With a
You
13,
take that back. We're not going to die today.
13 is enough to pass here. You manage to keep your action for the next round. Speaking of, it is your turn.
All right, I'm gonna try and punch it.
Squish it. Squish it dead.
You get some good hits in here. It is not doing hot.
I mean, if at any point there had been like 3 fewer 1s or 10s on either side of this combat, it would have been over.
Yep.
My
It's
first
a
one's a 20, it's
20 v 19, so that
that's
is a hit.
Second is a 20.
Yes.
Alright.
And he's like, so both of your punches hit.
What is with
Jesus
all the
Christ.
ones?
Oh my god. Okay.
Oh, okay,
one
so there we
good.
go.
That second one is the first time I have rolled the expected value of 4d6.
Yeah, it's a rough combat, but thankfully, with that, the 8 would not, 8 alone would not have been enough to do it, but with a 14, exasperated, injured, amongst many other things, you just, you tell me, Opera, how do you finish off this pesky spider bot?
I just, like, spin in a frustrated, sort of hissy fit and just punt it directly into the nearest wall.
Incredible. Yes, so you, with all of the various, little quick flashback montage of the fight that we just saw, some various assault rifle shots just going wide, hitting a little bit, some shotgun blasts going wide, due to, just close quarters is hectic, but then you, sick of all this, just full on boot this thing right into the wall, and a one good outcome of this being a very sturdily built bunker wall is that it is like a crash test dummy as the spider drone breaks into little pieces. And it would seem that the threat has passed. And with that, we are going to take a break. See you all in a few minutes.
We didn't die.
Yay! We
No
lived!
TPK.
And we're back, folks. Well, that was a bit of a heated combat with a security spider drone doing very well for itself, but thankfully our team prevailed. As I kick the music back on here. Nope, not that one. This one. How are we feeling? How are we looking and feeling here, gang? After the damage that was taken.
Yeah, so I know Cyberpunk is different as far as like health goes. Is there anything I as a medtech can do for either of them right this second? Or is that something that we have to wait until we get back to base for?
Well, as a matter of fact, so while I looked that up, I think there's something that you can do, but while I looked that up, yeah, let's get how are we looking and feeling damaged health, state of mind wise.
I am lightly wounded, but my pride is bruised and bloody.
If I had to give a number to it, I would say I'm about half.
About half, okay. So we're banged up here, I suppose.
I would say
Could be
Patch
worse.
is a good. She, out of 10, she would be a pissed.
Very good. I swear there was a. Unfortunately, the index has nothing under healing, injuries, curing. I mean, why would you? Real quick, let me look at either first aid or. Yeah, I don't know why. Let me just use the phone app. That's easier. For all of you viewers out there, whether on Twitch or YouTube, there is the Cyberpunk RED app, which is fantastic as both a character builder as well as just a nice little cheat sheet for looking things up quicker for first aid. I can find it. There we go. Keeps them from dying. Critical injuries. Okay, so yeah, none of you got critical injuries because it did not roll critical damage on anybody. The upside of only having 2d6 for damage meant that it would have had. Oh, actually, it did double six. It double sixed Opera, and I neglected to register that.
Yep, took your hand off the piece.
Yeah, I am. I'm going to be that guy here. So take an extra 5 damage, and if you will, I believe you should be able to navigate to the rollable tables there in the top right and click the roll for critical injuries body. So the upside from this is that you do not have to. We are not going to go back and recalculate things based on like what's the minus you would have gotten. Broken arm unusable, drop what it is holding. Well, okay. So basically that would like probably take away like one of your 2 melee attacks.
Which means that the creature is still alive, which means we're still in that fight, which is why you don't.
Yeah. So so in this case, let's just say narratively that last first punch that you did that only did 8 damage here, it managed to like you tweak your arm just a little bit off, broke the arm, which is why the punt, he's like, all right, don't need this arm, punt, boot, break. So as far as a healing folks up here, I believe some of you may have like med packs or something, which should indicate whether or not they do healing or not. But as far as the broken arm goes, Patch, that is where you can come to the rescue here. At least you're supposed to combat. Have to find the right sticky note. Blah, 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 blah. Give me... Where are the critical injury? There we go. All right, broken arm. Found it. So quick fix. You can make a paramedic check here, Patch, in order to take a look at this.
I was hoping I don't break the other arm the way I've been rolling.
Cool. So quick fix is what you're able to do here. It takes about a minute. You quick fix it will remove the effect of the injury for the rest of the day. Full treatment will remove the injury permanently, but that takes 4 hours to do. So, hey, 22. The DV here was 13. So yeah, you got it. You're able to splint up, stabilize Opera, your broken arm, so you will not need to worry about that for the time being. Fantastic. So with that, there is still a vault, sort of bunker vault door in front of you. What do you do?
Maybe we don't set off any more traps. Just an idea.
Yeah, maybe don't hit it again. Can we try something else?
Well, no, I don't think Opera hit it.
By all means.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Opera didn't hit it though, right? He just tried the electronic thing and it didn't work.
I did. I failed to pick the lock because apparently disabling the electronic security system, there was still a manual device that alerted the robots inside the mundane lock.
That was, gotcha. I believe, upstairs. This one you just got I think like a crit fail or something very low on your electronic security tech here.
Oh,
I think you got a crit fail. Yeah, that's why that happened. Also, you said that they were at half. So anybody who is at less than half of your hit points round up, you are seriously wounded. I think Pixie, you said you might be. Okay.
I'm close to half, but not quite.
Okay, so nobody's under half? Okay, then we won't worry about that. Cool. Because then... just for the record, if you do get to less than half of your hit points, you are seriously wounded. You get -2 to all actions, and you need a DV13 stabilization first aid check to stabilize. Anyways, yeah, so you can... Yeah, I think you already sort of got the bad thing from failing to unlock this door. So we'll say you kind of take 10 here, and Opera, using your security tech skill as high as it is, you are able to finally get this door open as you get one of these. Yeah, and inside here, you do see sort of this like bunker isolation chamber thing going on. Notably, what you see spread out everywhere is... stupid. Come on. Here we go. Something that you see, no checks needed, is... there are emissaries of tomorrow paraphernalia like everywhere. You see like there's this big flag kind of hanging across the back wall, other like little bits and bobs of that logo, and which it's not not news. He did try to recruit you here, Opera, but this is kind of intense. And oh, that's right. lest we forget. I will say, as this pops open, and you see this image in front of you, there is just like a little bit of a static from your agents, maybe a little bit of residue from the EMP from before, and or being hit with an electric stun baton. But after a little bit of interference, you hear friend computer pipe up.
Oh, what ho, that was a cracking good battle there. Very good that you were able to come out on top against those nasty foes. I remember the time when I myself was flying over... Oh, sorry.
And like goes off on a brief little like war story here, as friend computer has changed settings once again.
Patch just stares over at Pixie like, what the fuck is happening? Not again.
But every warrior worth their salt, every soldier has their own battle scars, so now you have a few of your own. Especially you there with the broken arm. Normally arms aren't supposed to go that way, but, well, now it does.
I'm kind of missing the Valley Girl, just saying. No, out of character, I love this.
Yeah,
But yeah,
that's fine.
just I feel like I need to be clear about that.
Sure. So yeah, you see this ruby, clearly plenty of paraphernalia for the emissaries of tomorrow. You see like documents. The other, I would say, thing dominating this room is you do see like a big server stack. Yeah, you see a big server. So yes, what do you do if you want to generally poke around? I would say that would be perception. If you want to take a look at the server, that would be electronics.
I will take the server. You continue looking for more of these potential horrible little death spiders.
I'm actually gonna look around at the paraphernalia specifically to see, because I'm getting the impression that Marcus is like, I mean, the last time I spoke with him, he was definitely heavily involved. So I just want to see if there's anything more I can learn about the movement.
Okay.
And possibly any connections with him, but that might be reaching too far.
Okay. I mean, maybe. We will see. Go ahead and roll a perception check with the knowledge that that's kind of what you're zeroing in on. 25, or so it's 24, but either way, very good from Opera.
Come
And then Pixie, kind of what are you thinking?
Is there a way to tell if somebody's been down here recently, or how, like, and if it's just been one person, multiple people?
Gotcha. Yeah, I would say you could either do perception just to look for general signs of like activity and whatnot, or I would say Opera's got it mostly cracked here, so I'd say with a panel on this side for the door, there is a panel here where one could like easily open the door from the inside, no security check needed. Either basic tech or electronics to like look for a log of entry. So either basic tech, electronics, or perception to see kind of what the activity has been in here lately.
I think my perception's probably the best.
Okay.
Nah, still not great.
Okay. Cool. So what y'all are able to get with all of this here, with that 25 electronics check from you here, Opera, you sort of like check out this big server here. As you begin to comb through the data, you do hear a...
Oh, I recognize this.
And you're able to confirm that this is, in fact, the base server from which this sort of suspicious broadcast has originated. That was bounced to the Scrambler in the movie theater out to everybody's agents. However...
I was right!
Yeah. So it seems like definitely something fishy going on here. So that's what you're able to determine. Unfortunately, the sort of like main data chip that would contain like that. So this is the source of the broadcast, but the source data, what was sort of piggybacking on its back, the slot for the main data chip is empty. So whatever was broadcast, unfortunately, you still do not have that exact information. But
Is the slot the same size and shape as the reels that we recovered?
It is now.
I
recognize that one.
Sorry, I dropped something. I would say that in its current state, no. But you do know that brain dances can be loaded onto data chips. So it could potentially broadcast a brain dance in this form. You're not entirely sure what that would look like as like a agent broadcast. It would depend on how the recipients like connect to their agent and receive that data. But you figure that under the right circumstances, it could sort of, you could theoretically piggyback a brain dance onto that broadcast. The other, let's see. What you do find in, there are, with these other two perception checks with a 10 and 11 respectively, I will say, with that, drowsy -1s, you... Best you can tell, Pixie, is that, there has been more than one person down here. At least there is more than one chair at the sort of like table in the center of the room. As far as any specifics go, you're just not really sure. But based on the somewhat lack of dust in here and the multiple chairs and tables, it's like this room has definitely seen some activity. And combined with Opera's deduction before that this whole underground thing was constructed fairly recently, you would suspect as well that it has definitely seen some use. Also tracks with, if this is where the broadcasts originated from, there have been broadcasts like all last week. So there's that. For you here, Patch, again, I'll say, Pixie, what you are able to like poke around it and find this, pretty bare DV here, because it's like sitting out on a countertop. There is a data chip that you do see just sort of sitting out there. It is labeled TAF. For you, Patch, you try and dig into some of these like documents. Most of them are there you get a lot of like pamphlets and kind of propaganda paraphernalia that you've seen distributed out on the street. So there's not really too much here that is out of the ordinary or much deeper. Digging much deeper. That's the word combination I was going for. But what you do find, again, it's kind of sitting loosely in a drawer, so it doesn't take. It's not that hard to find. is.
If Jonathan actually has it on his desk that he just like pulls out, I would be very impressed.
Right. My light was a little low, so I turned it up. You find a letter that I would say you don't recognize the handwriting. You do not recognize it as Marx's, as Scratch's handwriting. It is unsigned, but this is what it says. I'm going to. It says, I am concerned about the new direction we are taking. I'm glad that our outreach has improved, but what exactly are we bringing these new people into? We are meant to help save people, and this aggression goes against everything we've built up. If we continue down this path, we will be no better than the idiots that look down on us. Worse, we could bring about the very destruction that we have warned the people about for years. Please, let us reconsider and find our way again.
I'm gonna take the letter.
And I will post that into the Foundry chat there. So that is the letter that you find.
I'm gonna take it.
Okay. You do. And yeah, so that is what you have found. You can take a closer look at that data chip if you would like, but otherwise, the only other thing that kind of sticks out to you down here is that with those rare materials and whatnot in the anteroom there, it's probably worth something if you felt the urge to liberate them.
Opera, what do you think about this? What could this be? And I'll just hand over the data chip.
Is this another reason to use my electronic skill?
This is actually going to be cyberware.
You mean this thing I have the same exact role in?
Apparently, yes. Yeah, it's pretty low DV here, so even with a near minimum roll in with a -1, so a 19. This is a brain dance data chip.
Anybody up for a tango?
I would say that with what you have on hand, Patch, you would need the sort of like manual analog way to experience this, which you don't have on hand. Pixie, you normally would, but your interface cable is still a little bit shot for the time being after the EMP. So Opera, you would be able to interface with this. Okay.
All right. I plug it into whatever orifice it belongs in.
Is this safe? Are you gonna turn on us? Don't turn on us. I got tired of those goddamn spiders, so don't
The
turn on us.
days that I am persuaded by something that Comet has created as an artistic form of expression is the day I do not deserve to continue to live.
Righto, right into the face of danger. That's the way.
So yeah,
You know, this may actually be my favorite iteration of him.
Excellent. So you load up this brain dance, and you are sort of I forgot. Sorry, I'm getting some weird static feedback from somebody. Hopefully that goes away. Something I did forget, for the I'll bring it in later. So yeah, this vision goes up, and you suddenly recognize yourself. You are in some sort of like athletic arena, like field of some sort, and you see this big track going around, and you find yourself in the middle of a track and field meet. Hence the TAF. You see that there are some like you find yourself sort of in the midst of these events, and you are called upon to do the hammer throw event, which, for those who may be unfamiliar, is the little kind of heavy ball. It's got a little chain and handle there, and you spin around kind of like shot put, but you go around in a circle and then try and chuck it as far as you can. So yeah, if you continue operating on that, go ahead and if you follow along with this brain dance, go ahead and roll an athletics check as you get a...
And next up, we've got the hammer throw event. Some big contenders for this one. We'll see what they're able to pull off.
Oh dear, this is everyone's worst dream when they suddenly have to achieve some kind of public feat of excellence without preparation. It's a shame I've only spent my entire life perfecting my physical form!
Incredible.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, okay. I think that static's coming from you there, Pixie. If you will just quickly refresh your... Yeah. If you'll refresh your OBS Ninja page, that might help clear things up. All right. Let's see what we got. Go ahead and...
Is that-
Yeah, that's better. Okay. No static on you there. You're not a robot. We've got enough of those around here.
Casual roboticism.
Okay. With that, so you get your hammer throw going pretty dang well as you see it, wind up and starts to fly. Back in reality, Patch and Pixie, you see Opera suddenly pick up one of the chairs, start swinging around in a wide arc, and let it go. Chuck, I need evasion rolls from both of you, please. The DV here is 21. Or 20,
Nope.
I suppose. Okay. I'm going to say that it's like an improvised weapon. I think 2d6 I want to say is like the minimum for a melee weapon, but... Yeah, I mean, these are pretty sturdy bunker chairs. Go ahead and roll 2d6 here, Opera. Hey, that luck coming in clutch for once. With the minimum damage here, too. Thankfully, with this big wind-up here, Patch and Pixie, you're able to not completely dodge out of the way, but able to at least just get glancing blows here. Thankfully, they were not intentionally aimed at you.
Go
But-
tonight, eat your heart out.
I'm gonna tap Pixie and be like, hide? I think hide is a good idea.
Yeah, and in fact, I would say with
think so.
oh yeah, I don't think that even overcomes your armor anyway, so you don't take any damage. So yeah, you try and hide, and then normally, Opera, you are completely unaware of this. Pixie and Patch, you both know that brain dancing, like, it's supposed to, like, you sit in a chair and there is no physical movement in reality. The fact that Opera is moving during a brain dance is alarming and as clearly dangerous. You can try and contact via agent to try and alert Opera to this effect. If one of you wishes to do that, I'm going to need a either basic tech or electronics check here. Electronic slash oh, fantastic. Welcome in, Table of Horrors. Thanks for the raid. 11 viewers. We are excellent. Glad to have you here. We're in the middle of a Cyberpunk RED game. Here, some wild stuff going on. Thank you. You just missed a battle earlier with a couple of spider drones who nearly managed to solo our party here. But now they did manage to crunch them. Now we're dealing with some weird brain dance technology. Yes, welcome and hello. Fantastic. So yes, if you want to try and get in here, like normally contacting someone via agent is a non-issue, but something about this brain dance tech is sort of you're getting like some error messages here, so you're going to have to try and like circumvent whatever sort of like minor firewall is up here. I want a like I said, basic tech or electronic / cyber or security tech check from you.
Do you want me to try?
One or both or either. It's on the to learn list.
I don't have a very good mod. I don't know what you look like, but
I'll give it a shot.
yeah, go for it.
What's the worst that could happen?
Well,
and if you've got any luck points, obviously you can throw those in here. But hey, that is a 22 basic tech. Yep, that is going to do it. You managed to yes get this message through. So Opera, you are about ready. You know, for you are like about to start now the next event, which is a sprint. So Pixie and Patch, you see Opera and all of his cyber-weared, beefy glory just like crouching down, clearly ready to go at a dead sprint when Opera, you get that ping, sort of like in-game ping there. What do you say here, Patch, with your message?
Hey, you want to try stop killing the rest of us here? Maybe not throw things around. It's just an idea.
Yeah. So Opera, how do you react to that?
They were going to let me try chainsaw juggling next. Fine. And I will allow myself to be drawn back to the land of the living.
Fantastic. So you, sensing that like something is up, you deload from this brain dance, which you are able to do, and then you sort of find yourself in this sort of ready to sprint position. You see the chair flung across the room, and Patch and Pixie here are able to confirm that you moved and chucked something during the brain dance which should not be possible.
Opera looks at himself, looks at the chair. I caught Patch. Did you forget how to sit down again?
Again? When did... You know what? No, I'm not dignifying that with a response. So, hi, welcome back. What the fuck happened?
Yeah. Wait, what's this? What's this a story about forgetting how to sit down? I need all the details.
Yeah, I need the details too.
Anyways,
Well, there I was, showing everybody about my physical superiority, and suddenly, well, there was this annoying voice in my ear, and I overcame the urge to flee deeper into the illusion, but when I emerged here, I found you! And that's my side of the story. I've got shit for brains beyond that.
you hear a ping from Jacobot.
Yeah, you threw the chair. Really hard.
What he said.
So you're able to confirm.
Want to see a chair thrown hard? I'll show you a chair thrown hard. And he runs over to the remains of it.
Oh god.
Yes, you're able to check this chair much very hard again, although presumably not aiming at any of your party members here. So yes, this there are two very bits of information to hear. One, based on the sort of from your perspective, certainly that sports stadium, that arena, very antiquated by your measures. Think kind of more our modern day, so maybe a couple hundred years or so old from your timeline. Obviously, no one it has lived that long. So it is an artificial brain dance, and one that resulted in you actually moving in reality, which obviously dangerous. So however they were able to rig up this sort of technology, again, you have an example of it, but whatever they're planning on doing with this has some pretty big implications.
I mean, I already have a theory, but I kind of want to write it down because I don't want to metagame too hard.
Okay.
But I also want the chance to be proven right.
Well, but if this brain dance could make Opera do all of that, what else could it make people who are not as electronically savvy?
Mm-hmm.
And if that signal is sent out to more than one person, they could have an invisible army.
Isn't it exciting?
Maybe.
You and I have very different interpretations of exciting, my friend.
Seems exciting to me. Most things are.
I admire your enthusiasm.
As do I.
Okay. Looking at we're moving at a pretty decent clip here, but any other business that y'all would like to attend to down here, or shall we move on?
I said I took the letter, right?
Yes.
Okay, want to make sure.
Okay.
Also, for the group's delectation, this is the first thing that came to mind, so we could probably do better. Friend computer's voice, Manfred von Richtbotten. Never mind.
Don't mind me. Okay. What? No, I didn't just Google that reference. Yeah, perfect. I was going for more of a, more of like a British eccentric war general, but like, this works.
All right, you come up with a pun that has the word robot in it that is also a British war general.
I'll get on that.
Ooh, the Duke of Wellington.
Oh no.
Oh,
no.
man.
Nailed it. Nailed it.
What have we become?
And so it is written, so it shall be. And this is why I did not come up with the name beforehand, because I knew somebody would have something. Very good. Oh, yes, and thank you. I just noticed here, Pianist, redeemed each PC gets XP, so each of you take 10 IP, 10 improvement points. Huzzah!
Thank you, Stephen.
Very good, very good. Okay. With that, Duke of Wellington, love it. Okay. If that is in fact all the business y'all have down here, you can certainly retreat back the way you came. Did you want to take the shiny rare things with you? Winston Churchbot? What? Oh yes. Hi. Welcome in, Unlikely Gamer. We have you here in spirit. It's perfect.
Winston Churchbot.
Winston Churchbot is also pretty good.
I love it.
Very good. Okay. So yes, you take the potentially valuable things with you.
Maybe. Wait. What is the material? Is that the spider bots?
Most like the crates of like rarer materials. They are sort of in the anti-bunker chamber.
I am gonna kick one of the spider bots on the way out, and you know which one.
You kick one of the hypodermic needles, and now you fall asleep. No, you do. You just kick one of these things for good measure. Thankfully, yes, this will be a wild VOD to rewatch here, Lee.
Lee, we almost died. We needed Bo.
To a spider drone.
Lot of 1s and 10s, mostly, on their side and my side, respectively. In any case, You climb back up the ladder, retrace your steps. Thankfully, all this commotion, whatnot, being down in the bunker, as I said, it's pretty thick, pretty well insulated. So, at least the Technohemian community at large was not made aware of explosions and various things like that. You leave. You see a few curious looks from people because they heard you at least yelling earlier about just breaking into Comet's house here. Still no sign of Comet. He is nowhere to be found. So do you head back home from here, or are there any things or stops you'd like to make along the way?
Question really quick. When we walked in, we walked past the statues, and you made a comment about like how it felt like we were being watched. Is that just because they looked like humans, or is there more to that?
You can roll a
Do
perception.
we still have that feeling?
You can roll a perception check if you'd like.
All I can think right now is Sander Cohen.
I'd say there are a couple of statues that are about as creepy as those. With a 12, 13 minus the one for being still a little loopy. Yeah, it's just feels like a feeling. It's probably just because these statues are humanoid shaped that you get that creepy feeling, but you don't see anything beyond that.
Second question. Am I able to still drive my car? Can I manually drive?
Yes, you are able to manually drive. It does seem as if the EMP is starting to wear off, but after it's still a little bit glitchy. I would say you originally learned to drive without the interface plugs too. That's sort of like a rite of passage amongst the nomads. So yeah, it's still not an issue. It just means that your hands aren't free while you are driving. But yeah, you're able to drive back, no problem. So yeah, you're all headed back to the Neon Garden. Okay. So by now it is sort of like midday or so on Sunday. The day, so you make it back to the Neon Garden. It's about midday, the day before the arranged meeting that you were able to get with your family here at Pixie behind bars, what you're able to bribe for, and still a few days out from this Friday where your family is scheduled for execution. And that is where we are going to stop for the day. Thank you all so much for tuning in here. And yes, welcome in all of our new watchers in from the raid. I'm not sure what Table of Horrors is, so I will, if y'all would like to put into the chat what Table of Horrors, would love to learn more. But in any case, thank you for the raid. It looks like, yeah, on the to learn list, just learning a little bit more about Cyberpunk RED. If you go back and watch some of the earlier VOD, which will be here on Twitch or on YouTube, you'll be able to see more of it, specifically some of the combat that we were able to see earlier. Very, very good. So, last couple of things. We've got attributions, plugs, and then stars and roses. So, attributions, as usual, the music and sound effects and the voice mods were a combination of VoiceMod as well as Tabletop audio and Tabletop audio. Yeah, didn't use any Incompetech this time. And of course, as always, Quelmar, the Quelmar Realm is sponsored by Arkenforge. Arkenforge is the all-in-one toolkit for game masters to run games in person or online. Maps, music, tokens, and more. Arkenforge comes with a 28-day free trial and is the engine behind Quelmar campaigns such as the Beggar's Bodega, as well as Get Submodule, the Paranoia campaign that is the spiritual predecessor of this one. You can use the code the Quelmar Forge for $5 off your purchase of the Master's Toolkit today. That is, if I am remembering correctly, which I believe I am, it is just a one-time purchase. It is not a subscription, so you buy it once, you've got it forever. Putting that into the chat. And I will also specifically plug it as being particularly good for in-person play, that hybrid play. If you've got a TV screen around your table, it's got great built-in software to give that will split your GM view from the player view, so you can still have some sneaky things going on behind the scenes. Yes, let's do some plugs going around. Any plugs from? Raise hand if you got a plug. Yes, Angela.
This Thursday, System Agnostic, 7 o'clock. We are at what is likely the final battle, and probably the last episode of the entire campaign. So come check it out and see who dies.
Fantastic. Say fantastic. Not fantastic to the last bit, but very exciting, yes, to be the potential finale of the entire campaign. So, yes, do check out. We will have, we have got plenty of different games here on the Quelmar Realm Twitch, including, yes, the you just said it, System Agnostic into its potentially final thing. Elsewise, we've got that's on Thursday. We've also got Once Upon a Town tomorrow night. We've got First Class coming back on Wednesday. So we've got plenty of Quelmar streams this week. I will go ahead and put in, Discord as well. For those who are just jumping in, if you're not familiar with the Quelmar Realm, we are a 501c3 charity organization, gaming organization focused on building new communities through tabletop play, whether that's in person or virtual. So if you are interested in learning more, our Discord is our main communication means. I have just put that link into the chat. Feel free to jump in. You can learn more about us, even get into a game of your own. We've got plenty of events going on. We've even got this Friday, we've got a big Among Us event, if you're interested in that. Our main website is quelmar.world, which has links to just about all of the rest of our stuff, including our Discord, and also including the lore book, our new source book for the Quelmar setting that is coming out June 1st. We put together a book full of lore from the last decade of storytelling, so you can run your very own game in Quelmar, whether that's fantasy D&D or something like this, something modern or futuristic cyberpunk set in the same setting. It is all possible. And then last two plugs I will also say I'll go ahead and put a plug in for Lee, as mentioned. Yes, Lee is in a production of Something Rotten. So if you are in the DMV area up here in the sort of northeast around DC, you can check out that Second Star Productions. I believe that's Second Star. Something Rotten. Lee's in it. So come, you can go support her. Usually plays Beau De La Rue, our fourth team member. Yes, and perfect. Likewise, and last two Quelmar events I will plug. Coming up here in just a few weeks, we've got our very own Quelmar Con. That is going to be in Frederick County, Maryland, about 45 minutes northwest of the DC area. This second weekend in June, it's going to be a bunch of nerds in our community coming together to play games. And, what's better than that? So come check that out. That you can find information down on the website or directly at quelmarcon.com. And then the weekend directly after that, the Quelmar Realm will be at AwesomeCon in DC. Huge, big event. Got plenty of really rad guests coming in, like Elijah Wood. Last I checked, Elijah Wood, Sean Astin, and why did I always forget his name? The mocap guy. I can see his face. Andy Serkis. Yes. those three. So if you're a Lord of the Rings fan, and there's also a bunch of big voiceover guests coming in. Going to be a really great big nerd time. We will be there, and got to shout out AwesomeCon as well for living up to their name, for donating our exhibitor booth to our charity organization for free. That is a 4-figure value. So yes, love AwesomeCon. Hopefully you will be there, and we will be there too. Yep, that is all the plugs business. So last but not least, we've got our Stars and Roses. Scratch that, reverse it. Roses and stars. That's the order we've normally done. So roses is, of course, like one thing that you would like to shout out another person around the table here for. And stars is something that you are really excited about, looking forward to, would like to see in the future, that sort of thing. So if someone is ready with a rose and star.
Go.
Absolutely.
My rose is kind of a combined one for Matthew and Jonathan, for coming up with the Technohemian community, because that was so cool, and I'm glad we got to visit. And that also ties into my star, which is I would love to see more of everybody's like background and homeworlds and families, and yeah.
Yay. Yeah. These characters are more than just pretty faces and strong cyber arms. Yeah, love to see that backstory. Very good. Angela or Matthew?
Sure, I can go. I'll reverse them as Jonathan did initially. My star, the thing I'm looking forward to, is Jonathan has been forced to vamp a little bit to spread things out with some side quests, but I think that they have been additive rather than just kind of spinning our wheels, and I'm excited to see how all of the different lore threads and plot elements that have emerged in the last couple of sessions finally reconverge as we get into our heist next time we play, and then actually get into the final act and find out who is responsible for all of this. And my rose I would like to give to that spider drone. I'll see you in hell.
I can just hear some more metallic clicking, clacking.
Yep. Gonna be in my nightmares now.
You're welcome. Excellent. Which brings us to Angela.
Yeah, Rose's teamwork, man, against that goddamn spider drone.
Hey.
It took all three of us and an hour, but we did it.
You did it.
And stars, I'm looking forward to that heist, man. We spent so much time, and it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna go off without a hitch, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Nothing could go wrong at all.
I mean, you got all of your ones. All the battle rolls came out today, and so therefore during the heist, it'll all be fine. That's how math works. It's just how probability works. Fantastic. So, for me, Rose and Star. Rose, yep. A little bit of redundancy here, but I would like to throw Rose to Matthew for not only kind of helping us flesh out the Technohemian community just a little bit of that visual, but also, yeah, for helping kind of take the lead here as we went into your home territory, and never being afraid to have very strong feelings about whatever sort of NPC you encounter. I have no questions about how Opera feels about Comet or either of our friend. What did we say? The Duke of Wellingtron or Jacobot.
He is not a man for subtleties.
Yeah. And as for Star, might be the same Star as of last time, but yes, and you are. I'm glad that came across, Matthew. That was the intent with this sort of side mission here, is that it wasn't just a filler, not just time waster. We got to learn a little bit more that I was trying to think like, where am I going to fit this in? Perfect. with his broadcast, with the fishy broadcast stuff. But yes, I'm looking forward to, so 2 weeks from today, both a star and an advertisement. 2 weeks from today, we should have a full crew assembled as we get to the heist, trying to rescue Pixie's family from an unjust execution. Everybody will be here, and I mean, maybe we'll get done in one session. We will see what happens. But in any case, the heist, however that turns out, at least in my mind, that is going to mark the transition into Act 3 of this story here. So things are going to really come to a head in this next section here. But yeah, outside of that, I think that's all of the things. So thank you once again, everybody, whether you're watching live on Twitch or watching in hindsight on YouTube. Love to have you here. Love you stomping in, watching us. Tune in next time as we try and have a little bit of vigilante justice, aka correcting injustice, and also trying not to die to any more spider drones.
Oh my god.
As with these,
never again.
With these redemptions, it's time for our sign off. You know it, you love it. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Keep rolling those dice.
Dice.
Yeah. We'll see you next time.